you. Tell us what was your secret? How is that you were so capable of achieving this success?
I think you have to learn to appreciate what you have and what you can work with. And as a kid working in the fields, my hands had to stay busy, my feet, my body, but my mind was free. So it didn't matter what we were picking, tomatoes or strawberries or prunes, it didn't matter. I'd have these wild imagination, these wild journeys in my head. This is how I kept myself entertained. And I had these big plans about what I was going to do at the end of the day. It never worked out because I was too damn tired, with my whole family at the end of the day.
Unexpected opportunities arise. I was mowing the lawn in a hurry because I wanted to finish by the time the UCLA SC game began. Hello? And this person said, is this Professor Julian Nava? I said, no, it's Christopher Columbus. I don't want to buy anything. Well, no, sir. Is your name Julian Nava? Yes, why? Then he said, and your Navy serial number is 5669745.
Now
Is
that got
correct?
you thinking.
I said, that's my Navy number. You know that number like your birth date.
Tell us why would you do such a thing?
Well, I was at CBS television, and I saw who got the jobs and why they got the jobs. And it had little to do with talent. It was who you knew within the company itself that they would elevate you or downgrade you. And I saw how unfair the system was. And so over a period of time, we built this organization, and I was in the background. I was vice president to the first two presidents of the organization. Armando Duron and Esther Renteria were the founders along with me. And they both served 2 terms.
Remember how important it is to be educated so we can make a change, right? Tell us how or why, and of course we go back into youth. What motivated you to become so involved in academia and to achieve all these degrees?
So there's a couple of different parts to the story. The first
Can emulate your success, learn from you, see how we can, become, as successful as you have been in your career.
Well, but first of all, I just want to say, Dr. Reese, thank you very much for having me on this program. Thank you for what you're doing. I think it's very important that the people that you've had before, you're documenting that history.
Follow your footsteps. How can we clone more Gloria Molinas?
Well, it started with activism. Again, while I was in school and working full time, I still had time to volunteer. But also, I was part of the Chicano movement at that time, the student movement, and I was involved in a lot of issues. But one of the things that was very important to us at that time was making sure that as we were moving forward, Chicanos, and dealing with all of the problems of racism, we were still dealing with sexism, and we need.
Something. How did you go from that to all of a sudden to be, a writer, a producer? I mean, you took off. How did that happen?
We need to step back just a bit, because my first job out of after I got my degree from the University of Texas, I went to the University of Michigan to get a master's degree, and I really wanted to.
How did that teach you that it will teach us?
Yeah, you know what? I was lucky to be at the right time at the right place. When I came to the United States, I was actually doing my thesis for a PhD that I actually have never done, and I'm not happy about it. Eventually, one day, you're going to see this old lady going into school again, and I'm going to get my PhD, but I didn't. I came here to do my thesis, and I really got lucky because my thesis was a mix between marketing and politics. And
why were you or became so in love with education?
Well, I was always a reader. I was one of those people who, those kids who wanted to read and learn. Even in Juarez, when I was in school there, I was always somebody that wanted to learn. And that's always been a passion for me, even still. I mean, I read a lot of different things.
What advice do you give our friends?
I can't give advice. You know why? Because everybody has their own journey. Everybody does. And there's no one way to do it well. What I did was, you can't do it that way. Everybody has their own path, and mine, I always say, yeah, hang on to your dream. My dream was just to be in show business and performing. But at the same time, I kind of went off to the left for a minute and was an agent. And then I kind of went off to the right and I was producer. But all those things were still within my dream.